Students, today we see the last part of the biotechnology. So, up till now, we studied about the gene, genetic engineering, and biotechniques. So, techniques are those that we have to isolate the gene of interest, introduce, and to get a product. So, this is called as genetic engineering, biotechnology, and recombinant DNA technology. So, we are using this technique for various uses to the humankind. That is called as application of biotechnology. So we have to apply this knowledge to the various topics or various uses to the human being. So lot of uh, limitations are there for this, but still we are using to the various human being beneficiaries processes. So first of all, we start with this production of insulin. See here, I am giving this example in every lecture, the insulin, because it is very easy to understand and everybody knows the insulin and how we treat this insulin is used for treating the diabetes. But what happened here, I am explaining you, this insulin is produced in the pancreas of the animal. But what happened? Insulin has been used in the treatment of diabetes since 1922, and the hormone was extracted from the pancreas of either cattle or pigs. To purify insulin for treating the single diabetic for 1 year, it took 3.5 to 5 pounds of pancreas. So this was obtained from about 70 pigs or cows. See how many cows we have to kill. And the amino acid composition of both the bovine and porcine insulin is slightly different from that human insulin. So bovine insulin is different at 3 amino acid positions, while porcine insulin differs in that C-terminal threonine of the beta chain is replaced by the alanine. So many problems are there. Now, by using this technique, we have isolate the gene for production of the insulin in the human being. And that gene we have to take out and introduce into the another organism, for example in the bacteria. It is a process called as DNA recombinant technology. And the manufacture of insulin, and some diabetics have allergic reactions to bovine or porcine insulin. So human insulin produced by recombinant DNA technology eliminates these adverse allergic reactions. So that introduced gene is responsible for the production of enzyme, and that enzyme is ultimately nothing but the insulin. So now by using the recombinant DNA technology, we can prepare the insulin out of the body. So it is diagrammatic representation how this insulin is produced. See here, this diagram. This is the bacteria, plasmid is there, and A chain chemically synthesized B chain genes are there, and this gene for the insulin is get introduced into the bacterial gene, and we get the ultimate product is the insulin in the laboratory, and that insulin is totally free from any reactions or allergic reactions from the bovine or this other insulin. So this is very easy, DNA recombinant DNA technology. Now the second one, that is first one is the insulin. Then the production of vaccine. This is another important function. So vaccines are antigenic preparation. So actually we know that polio vaccine, BCG vaccine, anthrax vaccine, so many vaccines are there. So actually vaccines are what? Vaccines are antigenic preparations. When they get introduced into the body, they induce your body for the production of antibodies. But they are not true organisms. For example, they are hit-killed organism or viruses. In polio virus, polio vaccine, we are using the polio virus. But these viruses are attenuated culture, means hit killed viruses are there. They virus are unable to produce the original polio disease. They are not able, but their presence inside the body induce our body production for the production of antibodies against that viruses. So in future, so these antibodies are remain inside the body. In future, if suppose real polio viruses get inside the body, then these real viruses act as antigen, and antibodies are already there. So this antigen antibody reaction is there, and these viruses get killed by the antibodies. So this recombinant DNA technology can overcome the problems mentioned here in the production of the vaccines. So the vaccines are there. See here, but in the production of vaccines, some problems are there. For example, some viruses do not grow in tissue culture. So we have to grow the viruses for the production of vaccine. We have to grow the viruses. But for example, hepatitis B virus can't grow in a media. So to get overcome this problem, we have to use the proteins of the virus coat, and that we have to produce and act as a vaccine. So vaccine means when they get inside the body, they will induce the body for the production of antibody against that protein coat. So this technology is using now production of this COVID virus, COVID vaccine. Covaxin is a hit killed, and Covishield is using the virus protein code. This is the difference between Covaxin and Covishield. Keep in mind. So, this is the way where the virus is not grown in the media. Now, the recombinant vaccinia viruses are there. In this case, the in 1796 Jenner discovered that vaccinia virus harmless to man, actually harmless to man, could stimulate immunity against smallpox. This discovery ultimately led to the eradication of smallpox in 1980. So what is actually this? See the diagram here. The use of vaccinia virus as a carrier agent in recombinant DNA technology has made vaccine production easier. So this virus is act as a vehicle. So this vaccinia virus has been used because of its large genome, which can accommodate 25,000 extra nucleotides, and because it is non-infectious. See, actually virus is non-infectious, but vaccines are prepared by cloning gene for viral surface antigen that elicit a strong immune response, and viral pathogen have surface glycoprotein in their coat, and this function as an antigen and elicit the production of antibodies in the B lymphocytes of the host, and the hepatitis B major surface antigen has been ligated into the vaccinia genome under the control of vaccine promoter. So here this we have to introduce that particular protein code into the vaccinia virus, and vaccinia virus is itself is not any disease producer, but when they get inside the body, so their presence stimulate our body production for the production of antibodies against the hepatitis virus. So the vaccinia particle containing the recombinant vaccinia genome were injected into the bloodstream, new vaccinia particles were formed, and also hepatitis B major surface antigen protein is also formed. And this stimulates, just I have told you, immune system to synthesize antibodies against both vaccinia and hepatitis B. And therefore, immunity against both smallpox and hepatitis B results. So, this is the ultimate discovery by using the recombination of DNA in the vaccinia viruses. So here this diagram is shown here. You look at very careful vaccinia virus and surface glycoprotein of hepatitis B virus. So when they get introduced into the body, we get the antibodies against two diseases, smallpox and hepatitis B. So this is the construction of polyvalent vaccine with surface glycoprotein of different viruses on vaccinia virus code. So by the introduction of these recombinant vaccinia viruses, we can produce